Hello YouTube, what is going on, and welcome back to Mass Effect episode 7. I wanted to say I'm positive that it's episode 7. And yeah, it's been a very long time. To be honest, things got a little bit hectic and quite too busy for me to actually record any gameplay and edit it. But we're back, mostly due to the fact that it's now Christmas holidays, but also because just recently, I believe the time of recording this like a week ago, a teaser was released that Mass Effect isn't in fact dead, and there will be more on the franchise, and the teaser was specifically pinpointing that there will be more in the Milky Way galaxy. So for those who have played the game or who know what Mass Effect is about, that's very exciting news. So that includes me, and that sort of gave me more motivation to play through the original trilogy before the next game comes out. Obviously there's no dates, there's no hard evidence that the game is even on its way to be released within the foreseeable future, so I don't know how much time I have, but I do know that I want to play Mass Effect again. So here we are. I believe in the last episode we just finished talking to the council. We saved Liara to Sony from the Artemis Tau cluster, and we're here in the conference room, I suppose. And for this episode, it's going to be a bit of a chill one. We're going to do another ship tour, so to speak. We're going to go around talking to the crewmates we have on the ship, and most likely going to end it there. Won't make it any longer because we'll probably drag on. I'll try to keep it below 30 minutes, hopefully below even maybe 25 minutes. We'll see. But with that being said, we can start running out from here. And it's been a while, but the game still looks absolutely incredible. There's a stutter there, but let's see if Presley has anything.
Yes, Commander?
No, it doesn't look like it.
Carry on, Presley.
Goodbye.
Yes, ma'am.
Game looks absolutely incredible. It's been a while since I've been on the game, I wanted to say, and you know, for its age, the HD texture pack and Reshade really does wonders to the game.
I prefer gold to silver, you know, for my metal. I figured you'd recommend me for one since I pulled your boots out of the fire.
Right. You sure you want
that? If we
that?
present you with a medal, you'll end up sitting on stage listening to politicians make speeches for a couple of hours.
That's a good point. They'd probably make me shave, too. I spent the last 7 weeks working on this baby. No medal's worth that. So, Commander, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
Pretty sure we already talked to him about these things,
I have
so
to
just
go.
goodbye.
Alright, see ya.
Yeah, see ya. Alright. More XP. Let's head down to the second level. We talk to Caden, and then Liara, I believe, is also stationed on the second floor. You don't have to talk to Chakwas, because I think she only has like given lines. She doesn't comment on any of the missions. So like, oh, Caden.
Commander, do you have a minute?
I always make time for my officers.
Off the record, I think there's something wrong here. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
I hear you. Yeah, definitely.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. I mean, it's funny, we finally get out here, and the final frontier was already settled. And the residents don't even seem impressed by the view. Or the dangers.
That's an old-fashioned view. I don't want to say cute. I don't want to flirt with him, to be honest.
Well. You're a romantic. Did you sign on for the dream, Malenko? Secure a man's future in space?
Whoa.
Yeah, I read a lot of those books when I was a kid, where the hero goes to space to prove himself worthy of a woman he loves, or, you know, for justice. Or maybe I was a romantic in the beginning, but I thought about it after brain camp. Biotic acclimation and temperance training. I'm not looking for the dream. I just want to do some good. See what's out here.
It's a good mindset.
Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Yeah, I think protocol isn't that important. We're in this mission together, so we don't have to be so formal to each other.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled.
Sounds like hell.
There are worse results of accidental exposure to element zero in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
You don't think it was
Is there
accidental
some
then?
question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. A bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
So that's 2163, by the way, not 1963 or 2063. Investigate Jump Zero.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
Right. Friends?
There were other
Okay.
kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
Oh, like sounds like you'd go to your farmhouse or something that has no
You must have
internet,
had
really.
plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games. There was this girl named Rana, who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it. Like you, I guess. Ma'am.
You're kind of getting out of line there. So did you love her? It's
Sounds
kinda-
like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same. But things never felt together. Training, you know.
Probably.
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything kinetics did was gold.
Yeah, I can see
I'm not
that.
saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
Well, that does sound a little suspicious. Anyway, go on.
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. Anyway, this was supposed to be a casual debrief, not a bull session about stuff that happened years ago.
Bullshit. I'm not interested in him, but I do want to know him better.
We have to depend on each other in combat. I like knowing what kind of man I have at my back.
I understand, ma'am. I won't let you down. You, make a habit of getting this personal with everyone?
To some
course.
degree.
But I don't enjoy it with everyone. We'll talk again later.
I'll need some time to process that, Commander. But,
That...
yeah.
Yeah, I guess that you could see that as a flirt, but really it's just, you know, I want to be friends with him, I don't want to flirt with him. And the reason why I'm talking about it is I don't actually remember, it's been so long, but I'm pretty sure at some point I covered the fact that you could romance characters, and Caden isn't exactly the person I want to romance in this playthrough.
Anything
But
you need, Commander?
let's ask for tactical
What's your
pressure.
opinion on the last mission?
Dr. Tassoni. She seems nice enough. I mean, if you like the bookish sort.
Do
Any
you?
intentions there, Lieutenant?
None, Commander. I prefer adventurous women.
Right.
We'll talk
Stand
later,
down.
Caden.
I'd like that.
Oh, I'll have to reject him. It's just a bit annoying in this game. Oh, there we go. I don't know what that was. My locker. What was I saying? Yeah, so in this game, in the first game, it really, it makes you romance characters that are romanceable automatically. You can't really say no or go a conversation line that isn't flirty, but it's not the end of the world. Right.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
I should go.
Okay.
Goodbye, Commander.
To see. There's nothing new from her, but the person I am interested in romancing is Liara. So let's check up on her because we saved her from the fire in last episode.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
Yeah, I was
You
kind
look
of
much
worried.
better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
Yeah,
You're
she's
in
the
good
best.
hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
I'm
Don't
just glad
mention
we
it.
got there in time.
so am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
I
Don't
know.
worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
Like, the Geth wouldn't try to kill her if she wasn't on our side, of if she wasn't willing to help us. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I'd like to talk about
Tell
you.
me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
That sounds kind of
Sounds
lonely.
dangerous. And lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers, but I was always careful. Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau, I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
So you're an introvert, right? Did I cover biotics? I'm trying to think here if that word is confusing for you guys. It's the ability to affect Mass Effect rules and dark energy. Basically, the Jedi equivalent, you could say. You know, they can move things with their mind and with the use of their hands and so on. But why do you need to get away from
You
people?
don't like other people?
I suppose it comes from being a matriarch's daughter. People expected me to follow in Benezia's footsteps. They wanted me to become a leader of our people. Matriarchs guide their followers into the future. They seek the truth of what is yet to come. Maybe that's why I became so interested in the secrets of the past.
Could be.
It sounds so foolish when I say it out loud. It sounds like I became an archaeologist simply to spite Benezia.
I don't think it's foolish. Like, everyone can do what they want regardless of who their parents are. Obviously, in some families, the parents expect the children to follow their footsteps, but I guess in a modern family or in, well, I don't know, everyone has their way of raising their kids, but normally I'd say a kid is allowed to do whatever they want as long as the parents can support. I'm getting way off topic. Anyway, it's not foolish.
All children rebel against their parents. It's a natural part of growing up.
Aha, you share the wisdom of the matriarch, Shepard. That is exactly what Benezia said when I told her of my decision. But there was
See?
more to it than that. I felt drawn to the past. The Protheans were these wondrous, mysterious figures. I wanted to know everything about them. That is why I find you so fascinating. You were marked by the beacon on Eden Prime. You were touched by working Prothean technology.
Fascinating, huh?
Sounds like you want to
Interesting.
dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No, I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
Relax.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please,
fair enough,
just
but-
pretend this conversation never happened.
Like, everyone makes mistakes. If you can laugh it off, it's for the best, yeah. Let's ask about
Do you
Benezia.
know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
Yeah, that doesn't
This
sound
hurts you,
good.
doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
Interesting.
I'd
Asari
like to know
culture?
more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
What kind of rumors?
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
I
How's
don't
that
understand.
possible?
Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
That sounds incredibly complicated, but mad interesting at the same
What
time.
happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Who was your
Do you know
father
who
then?
Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
You don't know
Benezia
who?
never told you her partner's name?
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what
Right.
is sometimes called a pureblood, though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face. It is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
I mean, surely it wasn't that bad.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Maybe something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
Oh, man. How do you deal with
Asari
that?
live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
Jeez. Imagine
I should
living
go.
for 1,000 years.
Goodbye, Shepard.
See you next time, Liara. Good talk. But imagine living for 1,000 years. Like, we humans live for 100 years, and it's still a decade. But imagine living for 10 decades. So, like, if you have one bad day in your life, it's like nothing. I mean, it's technically nothing in our lives. There's a lot of bad days you won't remember in a few years, but there's a lot you could see if we would live for 1,000 years. Alright, we're here in the basement.
How are you?
We're not going to talk to him. I don't think we need any new guns. Let's
Why
talk to
did you want to be a
Garrus.
C-Sec officer in the first place?
So he was in CSEC.
That's a
Let's
good
ask about that.
There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted
Like?
to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was CSEC, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest.
Oh,
He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
okay.
That's
I mean,
tough.
most likely, I guess,
But
if
you
he
think
was
he'd
a
be impressed you're going after
C6
Sarah.
star and
My
he
father's
quit.
a CSEC man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
You were asked to be a Spectre.
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre
Damn.
candidate, me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres.
Oh, okay, so
he
not
hates
that
the
important.
idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability.
Okay, so he was. Well, never
He
mind.
wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can.
I mean, I guess I can
Saren's not gonna
understand
play
that.
by our rules, CSEC's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
Not exactly true, but to some extent. Again, I wish I had, this is like, no,
Just because you
or
can break
fully
the rules
agree
doesn't
and then
mean
forget
you
about it,
should.
just not
I
even
don't
touch
need
the
to stoop to
subject. But
Saren's
anyway,
level
not
to
true.
Stop him. And neither do you, Garrus.
Yeah,
I see what you mean, but I'll think about it. Thanks,
Boom.
Commander.
you're welcome. I mean, it makes sense to some extent that we are Spectres, so we are allowed to cart rules, but
Commander?
in my opinion, only when we have to.
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story.
How are we doing?
About her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
Well, yeah, but I guess if
I think
Osiris
she's been
live for
straight
really
with us.
long, they
Or at
don't,
least I
they're
don't
not
think
really
she
in a
lies
hurry
very
to talk
often.
to each other every now and then.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Hey, want me to ask her about her sex life?
Or that.
Might be illuminating.
I don't think she's used to teasing, good-natured or otherwise.
Oh, come on.
No fun, Commander. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years.
Aw.
That's impressive.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure.
we
I was
talk?
hoping to get a minute of your time off the record.
I keep an open-door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
What's up?
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies. At least as far as Saren goes.
Because they're not Alliance?
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
You don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council
Well,
races
why not?
allies. We, humanity, I mean, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
Standing up for ourselves doesn't mean standing alone.
I mean,
don't think
yes,
we should
but
turn
we
down
still need
allies.
allies.
I just think we shouldn't bet everything on them staying allies. As noble as the council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
You got a pessimistic view of the universe, Williams.
A pessimist is what an optimist
cynical.
calls a realist. Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll
Right.
do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
I mean, I guess to some extent that is true, and also in our current society, if a lot of people feel more closer, well, that people from their country are more important to them, but we can still get along,
seem
we
like
can still
deeply
count
held
on each
beliefs,
other,
Williams.
we can still
What made you
cooperate. So
think this
why do
way?
you feel that way?
My family's defended the Alliance since it was founded. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
It doesn't sound like
Damn.
you've worked with aliens before.
No, ma'am. Mainly I've been groundside.
Your service.
Part of the surface garrison forces. I did get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
That's odd. Your record is spotless and your technical scores are exemplary.
Well, that doesn't
You should
make
be
sense.
serving with the fleet.
Anyway, that's why I haven't served with many aliens, Commander.
I come from a military family too. My parents were both Navy. Anybody in your family?
How about
we
your
might
family
know?
then?
Couldn't say, Commander. We probably have a lot in common. You join up to carry on the tradition?
No.
No, I
The future
think
of
I just joined
humanity
up
is
to
out
see
here.
space, really. I
There's
mean,
so much we haven't seen yet.
Yeah. I still remember my first field exercise on Titan. When we hit mud, the reality hit me. I'm the first person who ever stood here. Then my drill instructor kicked me in the ass. I went face first into the muck. He spent the next 5 minutes chewing me out for gold breaking.
cold breaking. Just to comment on that last one, I'm playing it as I am Commander Shepard. I mean, the character is supposed to be a female version of me. So if I would ever enlist in the military, it would probably, if, you know, say military had presence in space and it would be the best way to see space,
Don't
then
tell
I
me
could
you had Gunny
probably
Ellison.
consider signing up to the
He's
military
the only
and
one
see
who
space.
uses that
Anyway,
word
cold
to
breaking.
describe shirking duty.
Oh, Lord. You went to the Makapog boot camp, too? Yeah. Gunny Ellison's still reaming out recruits down there. Kicking ass and using words like inveigle and pusillanimous.
What does that word even mean? Pusillanimous?
All right, I can
Anyway,
see where your concerns are coming from, Williams.
I understand your
This is a
feelings, but you're
multilateral
gonna have to
mission.
work with them.
You're gonna have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high.
Yeah.
You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
I don't think kissing Turians will be necessary.
You never know, Commander.
Thanks.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Alright, see ya. Episode's nearing
we've
around
got
half an
Sarah
hour
on the
here,
run.
but I'll talk to Rex. I guess we do. Not really. Well, we saved
It won't be long
Liara,
now.
but we haven't really.
Sounds good, but I'm better.
Oh, whatever. Yes, we do.
Good. He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
I think we already knew that.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
Wait,
I would have if I thought it was important.
met him.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
This was a while ago.
Fair enough.
A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them.
Okay.
They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't
Sam
that
recruited
open,
you?
and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted.
So what was
just
he doing?
moving through the ship, watching. Couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him. So I got
Jesus,
the
that's
hell
kind of
out.
creepy.
Didn't even wait to get paid.
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
Nice.
I don't know.
What was in the cargo?
All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
Whose ship was
Okay.
it?
There was a Polis
fair enough.
trading
Don't
vessel.
blame you. The
Big
ship.
one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah,
Right.
didn't
And
even
nothing
know
else?
who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
So long, Rex.
Jesus Christ,
Shepard.
yeah, I mean, you dodged a bullet there. See ya. Alright, and the last one left is Tally. We're on 32 minutes, but I guess we'll talk to her and then we'll call it an episode. I'm pretty sure we don't have anything new to say to Engineering Adams here. So let's talk to Tally.
I don't know.
Well, you don't
Your
sound
ship
kind of
is
happy.
amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth, it feels like we're not even moving.
Why is
and
that?
the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
I find it rather peaceful. Don't worry, you'll get used to it.
I kind of like the
But
silence,
it's
to be
more
honest.
than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have till it's gone.
That's true.
Sounds like homesickness.
I'm starting to wonder if that's what the pilgrimage is really
Exactly.
about. It's given me a whole new perspective on my people and our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them, but maybe they just wanted a different life.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could
You are going
never
back in the end,
abandon
right?
my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually.
I mean, not in a bad way.
But we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
I should go.
See you
Yeah,
later.
kind of makes sense. Till next time. See ya. Alright, I think that's it. I'm gonna slowly walk back up to my quarters and then do a save file there. Just for the roleplay aspect, I assume. I mean, you know, we have our captain's quarters to use, so why not use it? And that's it. So those, Liara seems like a nice person, and she's also my choice of a romance. How to say this? She's the character I want to romance, not Caden. So my character is lesbian. I don't know. That awkward silence pause. It's kind of late, so I'm trying to think. So yeah, basically, I mean, I guess it isn't really being lesbian because sorry, I'm monogendered. But anyway, I think for YouTube purposes, it sort of is more interesting to showcase the romance between a species that's not human, because obviously she's an alien, and you know, in our world we have the aliens and stuff like that. But and also throughout the 3 games, she's one of the main love interests. There's more content about Hugh and Liara. Caden and you are also one of the main romance options, and then if you would be playing a male character, you should have Ashley or then Liara from the first game, and depending on which one you go with, it sort of carries out through the 3 games. That's how it works. But anyway, this has been more of you know, talking to crewmate episode. I do think these are important episodes to sort of, you know, get more attached to the characters and get to know them better, but they do lack a bit of action, and they can get a bit boring over the course of the run. But in the next episode, we're gonna head back out there and see what we have to do. I believe the best thing to do would be to go back to the Citadel and check if everything's fine, and see if we can do some side missions. But we'll see that in the next episode. I'll stop blabbling, and I hope to see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, leave a like. I'd appreciate that. If not, leave a dislike. Still would appreciate that. But that's that, yeah. Till next time, hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.